Hi everyone, and welcome to ESL Level 3-4 with personal information, clothes, hair, eyes, and habits. This week we will be using a lot of adjectives and we will be talking about people. So we will be using the simple present tense and the present continuous tense. We can use the simple present to express general truths, to indicate present habits, or to indicate permanent states. For present continuous is to describe something that's happening right now, like I am talking right now, or to indicate temporary states. So I am wearing this shirt temporarily. Tomorrow I will wear a different shirt. Okay, so there's a bunch of sentences. Please read them over, look at the images, think about the adjectives and the verbs in the sentences, and say them out loud. Okay. As we're talking about adjectives, we will notice that there are 7 different types of adjectives: opinions, size, age, shape, color, origin, or material. It is not normal to use 7 adjectives in one sentence. Usually we use maybe 2 adjectives, sometimes 3 adjectives. When you use more than one adjective, you do want to try to keep them in order. It's not an all the time rule. It's a most of the time rule, right? So we want to say she has straight black hair or short styled hair instead of styled short hair, right? So just, this is the official order. It works most of the time, right? So use these pictures and the different descriptive adjectives to describe the people. There's some sentence frames to fill them in. So we can say that he has short gray, I'm sorry, the gray is under there. He has short gray hair, right? Does she have gray long hair? No, we say she has braided gray hair, maybe. That's good, right? So look those over. Describe the different hair. Think about your classmates and your family and yourself, and use the vocabulary to describe the people around you. What type of hair do they have? All right, some more vocabulary. So when we talk about a material, right, or the fabric that something is made of, these are some of the most popular types of fabric. So we have cotton that comes from the cotton plant that we use for like t-shirts and jeans and things. We have polyester, which is actually made from oil in a factory, or sometimes plastic bottles. They do a lot of things, but plastic bottles are made from oil, so it's really the same thing. And but you know, good for raincoats. Polyester is the way to go. We have flocks. That's what they use to make linen. We have the linen fabric to make suits very often, or clothes for when it's very hot. We have wool that comes from a sheep to make clothes for when it's very cold. And then silk that comes from silkworms. Often you might find that in a tie or something very, silky, right? So when we're describing the clothes in some photos or of our friends or of ourselves, we can describe the color and the type of item that it is, or we could describe the material that it's made and the type of item. So we just have your basics here. We have 2 beautiful dresses, black pants, cotton shirt, silk blouse, blue suit, brown hoodie, plaid skirt, and short denim shorts, right? So we have them in the order that they're supposed to go in. Again, you should only use like maybe 2, sometimes 3 adjectives in a row. And so then we have some examples here where we can look at what some different people are wearing, read those sentences over to yourself, and then apply the adjectives to the people in these photos. So we have them moved down here in some sentence frames for you, but we can also look at these pictures here. So they are wearing red jackets, right? Or we could look at the next one and we could say they are wearing yellow pants. All right, that's intermission. So we're going to take a break. We're going to switch off, recharge your batteries, take a breather, relax, put your feet up, and we'll be back with part 2 in just a sec. Thanks, y'all. All right, I hope you enjoyed intermission and that you took a break and you put your feet up and you let your mind relax, but we're going to continue on with the rest of the video. So we know tall, average height, and short, right? From the tallest to the shortest. That's easy. But did you know that over the last 100 years, a lot of people in a lot of different countries have been actually getting taller and bigger because we have more food than we used to have a long time ago. And we are healthier, so we are getting bigger. And you can read this chart to find out some different information. There's a couple questions. The first question is, what country had the biggest height gain for women from 1914 to 2014? Well, for women, we have two choices. Is it South Korea or Guatemala? And then there's another question. How many centimeters of height was gained by the average Guatemalan woman between 1914 and 2014? Well, we start at 140 centimeters and we go to 149. So that's 9 centimeters, right? Think of some other questions. Look at the chart and see what you notice about how people seem to be getting bigger. All right, other ways to describe yourself is your eye color. There's 3 main colors of eyes, but we know that there's actually more colors. And this chart just shows the likelihood of a specific eye color depending upon the parents. So if both parents have brown eyes, it's most likely that the child will also have brown eyes, but they might have blue, right? If you have one parent with green eyes and one with blue, you will not get brown eyes. You will either get a baby with green or blue eyes, right? And so there's just some scenarios and questions to think about this information and to read the chart and to think about what's possible or not possible or probable or not probable. So check that out and think about, hey, what color are your eyes? And then go on to describe yourself. We'll put this in the quiz this week, but you should also be able to, set up your own dating profile if that's the sort of thing that you're into. Describe yourself, maybe for a pen pal, who knows? All right, and then the last thing that we're going to look at to describe ourselves is our habits, the things that we do. So this lady in the photo, she works in a shop. She makes shirts and dresses. She sells shirts and dresses, right? That's her habit. Those are the things she does regularly. With our regular habits, we're going to just use the present tense, but we still have to pay attention to whether our subject is singular or plural. So we have goes to work versus go to work, right? You can read the list over, and you guys know most of these already. These are some pretty easy ones. But what we're going to do is we just have so we have all of these that are simple present, and then we're going to convert these sentences into present continuous tense. So look at the example that you have, and then in the one that has the blank in there, change the verb to the opposite tense. So if it says simple present, put it in simple present tense, right? If it says present continuous, where the blanks are, use the present continuous tense of the verb. All right, so we'll look at that. That's going to be the end of the class. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back for the reading for those people who like to listen to someone else read along the story. You'll find the reading, some questions, and a little bit more vocabulary with some fill in the blank in your slides. Thanks for joining us, and if you're here for reading, just stick around in a sec, and we'll get right to it. All right, thanks, y'all. All right, thanks for sticking around for the reading section. Let's jump in. Iceman found in glacier. We have a better idea of what people wore 5,000 years ago. Scientists studied the material that was on the body of a man who died in Europe 5,300 years ago. His body was frozen under ice. Archaeologists found him in a glacier in 1991. They called him Ötzi the Iceman. They also found Ötzi's accessories and weapons. Scientists studied everything they found to get an idea of how early humans looked, their food, and their clothes. They even have an idea of what Ötzi sounded like. Ötzi also provided rare and valuable information about how humans used animals. All right. Where was Ötzi the Iceman found? At a glacier. When was Ötzi the Iceman found? 1991. What items were found with Ötzi the Iceman? Accessories and weapons. Ötzi's clothes were from several different animals. His leggings were made from goat leather. He wore a hat made from bear fur. His leather coat was made from at least 4 different kinds of animals. His shoes were made from grass. Ötzi's body was covered in 61 tattoos. Scientists say these were to make pain go away and not for beauty. Ötzi was 45 when he died. This was old for a man 5,000 years ago. He had problems with his heart and with his teeth. Scientists say he did not die naturally. He was murdered. Someone killed him with an arrow, which hit him in the head. Oh, that's poor Ötzi, right? All right, there's some more questions for understanding. What items of clothes was Ötzi wearing? Why did Ötzi have tattoos? How did Ötzi die? Why do scientists and archaeologists think the discovery of Ötzi is important? And what do you think? How have clothes changed since the time of Ötzi's life? All right, you'll also find some words underlined in the article: glacier, accessories, leggings, goat leather, and leather coat. These are pretty much all nouns. And then we have our definitions here. Use those, read over the definitions and use the words to fill in the blanks. And then read it out loud. Say it to yourself, say it to a friend, and say it to your classmates when they see you next week or this week. All right. See you guys in the live meets. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.